probably yet. We're going to learn about the philosophy, a very broken down philosophy on how to peel off the belly fat that we're all trying to get rid of. So weight loss 101. I'm just going to present this, and we're going to go over some basics here when it comes to weight loss. So as you guys know, right, how do we lose weight? Well, weight loss is indeed a process. You guys have to understand that whenever we're on like the ketogenic diet or anything like that, most of the time in the first 2 weeks, we lose a lot of water, okay? And then we start to think that the ketogenic diet and all the above is like the best thing ever because it's finally working. Well, the issue is that it's not sustainable. The issue is that you gain your weight all back when you start to crave carbs again. And that's why we're going to be talking about the process. And we want to make sure that we're trusting this process because this is how you're going to be able to keep weight off. Of course, we want to be in something known as the calorie deficit. We want to move our body. We want to have increased protein. We want to decrease our stress. We want to have a good balance of sleep and water, and we want to be able to adhere to the the process of that is. And that's exactly why the ketogenic diet and waist trimmers and all the above and Herbalife and shakes and 21-day challenges, and they just don't work. They're not sustainable. I'm sorry, Karen. I'm sorry. Okay, moving forward. Okay, well, what is a calorie deficit? Well, a calorie deficit simply just means that our bodies are going to be burning more calories than we intake through food. This is the energy balance equation. Calories in versus calories out. Anytime that we gain weight is simply just a reflection of eating more food, and we're going to be putting on weight because we're intaking more than we're expending, okay? So something known as the weekly deficit is something I'll introduce to you guys as well, and this is simply just allowing us to have a little bit more flexibility throughout our week, taking an average of our caloric deficit. So let's say that your caloric deficit was 500 calories each day. Multiply that by 7, then you're going to have a budget of 3,500 calories as a weekly deficit. So let's say that you eat really, you binge on one day, you have a ton of calories, and you're in a surplus. Well, that's totally okay because you're just going to offset it the next day by eating less. As long as you fall within a weekly caloric deficit, you're going to be staying consistent. And this is a really big way, a really sustainable way to lose weight, I should say. Moving forward, movement. Well, obviously, we're going to want to move our body. I think the big caveat here is that a lot of people think that exercise and lifting weights is the only way you can move your body, and that's just not true. Walking is one of the best things we can do to lose weight, as well as our hobbies, playing with your kids, being outdoors, doing gardening, house chores, dancing. If you have a hobby for dancing, which by the way, I love dancing. DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, and Just Dance on the Wii are definitely my shit. I'm not really a pro at dancing. However, I do try. So if you guys have any dance tips, we can kind of exchange information here. But moving your body, also NEAT, and this is non-activity. Okay, so what I mean by that is like twitching. What I also mean by that is digestion, brain function, muscle repair, breathing, all the above. This makes up our resting metabolic rate, right? And so basically meaning the amount of calories we're burning at rest. Very important stuff. So you do not have to solely focus on exercise in terms of losing weight. So important stuff here. Moving forward, increase protein. I kind of mentioned this briefly, but of course we want to make sure that our protein intake is high. So 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of our body weight. Why does this matter? Well, first off, it's going to be very big for tissue repair, muscle repair, and anytime our muscles are efficient at getting stronger in the repair process of muscle protein synthesis, it's going to allow ourselves to get stronger in the gym. And as we know, if we increase our strength, we get stronger in the gym, we're going to be burning more calories at rest. So it all goes hand in hand. Some protein hacks, protein powder, of course, protein bars, protein pizza crust, muffins, pancakes, Kodiak cakes is the brand, bagels, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. These things are very easy to intake, have a lot of protein, so I definitely recommend getting these in to your diet. Moving forward, Decrease stress. This is a massive one. Obviously, stress is linked to almost every disease possible, and as well, we release something called cortisol when we are stressing. And anytime we have increased cortisol, we're going to be storing more fat. Because cortisol is also linked to insulin, and increased insulin levels are going to be the reason why we store more fat. And that's a huge argument for low carb, as when we decrease our carbohydrates, our insulin goes down, therefore we are going to be burning more fat, which we'll go for, which I'll talk about that more so if you're someone that doesn't really process carbs that well. Ways to manage stress. Develop a morning routine. I'm really big on this. You'll find that there's going to be a power morning routine I recommend you guys to do. Deep breathing, journaling, yelling actually, and smiling. Anytime you're smiling like this, and you may feel obnoxious, but it actually will switch your mood in an instant. Yelling does as well. I don't know about if you can figure out or think about a time that you've yelled really loudly and you felt immediately better after that. Well, that's probably because you're just releasing all that bottled up stress inside of you. Moving your body, great way. Walking, finding something to do, enjoying a hobby, lifting weights, of course. Music, better time management, so that way we don't really feel like we're crunching in everything in our day. And distracting yourself with taking action, a huge one. If you can take action, you can develop those small wins I talked about, you're immediately going to be able to switch your mood. A little pro tip here: when you're stressed, allow yourself 90 seconds to snap out of it. I'm going to challenge you guys. This is the 90-second rule. If you know you're feeling stressed and you know that you're just like kind of out of it, just give yourself 90 seconds to do one of these things to manage your stress, and watch how efficient this is. Moving forward, water, sleep. I'm not going to tell you guys to carry a gallon water jug everywhere you go. That's just stupid. I would say get a hydro flask or get something like that where you can constantly fill that up. Making sure that your water is, or if you want to have if you're tending to want to drink more water, just make it obvious. Get up, have a glass of water. Make sure your glass is right by your bed, so that way it gives you a cue to fill up that cup and drink more water. Ways to get better sleep. Reading, journaling, blackout curtains, keeping the room cold, making sure you're not hungry. That's definitely something I've struggled with being a previous wrestler. Going to bed when you're hungry is awful. You're going to think about food the whole entire time, literally when you're sleeping. So don't do that, okay? And a little pro tip for here to get more water. Seltzer water is huge. Hydro flask, strawberries and watermelon have a ton of water in them. Low calories in these fruits. So definitely a great way to get in more water. Adherence. This is the last one. We're not going to be doing any sort of challenges, quick fixes, and things like that. We're going to make sure that this is going to work for you, and that's why this is based around your time, your body, and all of the above. We're not going to be doing anything that we're not going to feel is going to work for us. We want to make sure that we're adhering to this, and that's super important when it comes to weight loss. So this is just the weight loss 101. These are what I feel are going to be the 5 staples in attaining your most attractive look and really just managing to shed off that belly fat. So I hope this was valuable to you guys. Any questions? I'll boxer it up.